Well, hello there, and welcome this evening to our live stream from the Folklore Forest and Folklore Studios. Right now, you join us in our small mini studio, and we're going to be, reading three interesting and autumnal stories for you this evening. And we thought that we'd, welcome you into the studio. As you can see, I'm dressed for the occasion, if you like. And we're looking right now also at above at the because we have the split screen cameras this evening. We're looking at the camp again, and we're hoping maybe on the live screen we might actually see a few wild animals, a couple of foxes, maybe even, who knows, really, who knows. But we certainly have an interesting show for the next just under an hour, I believe. So I hope you'll stick around. Let us know where you're from if you're joining us for the first time, and you're welcome to sit with us and enjoy these three stories that I'll be reading for you live this evening. So we'll just sit back for just 1 minute and take a look at that live camera up there. I can control this camera and turn it around if I wish, like this, move it. And usually we do see foxes come through that area. And, our first story this evening is about the fox and how these three stories tie in with folklore and, myth, and also the turning of the seasons. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that if you're just stopping by now, or if you're just here again, or we're just going to wait before we go into our first story. Oh, guys, let me know where you're from. Welcome again. We're going to start up with our first story in about a couple of seconds here. There you go, pal. If you could use English, please, that would be great. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay, well, we're saying welcome to our Autumn Stories live stream. And as the forest begins its slow turn towards autumn, we invite you to settle in with us, listening to the quiet of the woods, watching the world of the animals unfold on our live nature cams, and sharing in a few old tales woven from folklore. Because in every season the forest speaks, but autumn has a voice of its own. Its winds carry stories of tricksters, guardians, and companions who walk the woods beside us, unseen yet felt. Tonight, we will follow three such tales. The cunning fox, who carries a lantern into the mist. The bold blue jay, who barters and bargains with those who dare cross his path. And the mysterious deer, who walks at the edge of autumn, bearing the spirit of the season. So, draw close, wherever you may be, and let the stories begin. On nights when the moon is thin and the air is heavy with mist, travellers in the deep woods tell of a strange light flickering in the trees. Some say it is a wandering spirit. Others claim it is a lantern carried by an old hermit. But the elders whisper another name, the trickster's lantern. Because long ago, in a woodland like this, a grey fox lived along the river bank. Unlike other foxes who slipped silently through the underbrush, this fox had a gift for mischief. He was clever, sly, and endlessly curious about people. The villagers often left food near the edge of the forest, hoping to keep the fox away from their chickens. But the fox wanted more than food. He wanted fun. So one autumn evening, when hunters camped beneath the trees, the fox crept close and stole a glowing ember from their fire. He carried it carefully in his mouth, padding through the dark woods until the ember flickered like a lantern in the fog. And from that night on, the fox was never seen without his little flame. At first, travellers thought it was a blessing. "A lantern in the woods," they would cry. "But surely someone is guiding us home." But when they followed the light, it led them deeper into the thickets, where trails twisted and brambles tore at their boots. No matter how far they walked, the lantern always stayed just out of reach. Some grew frightened and turned back, but others wandered all night until dawn broke and the light was gone. They would find themselves standing in unfamiliar groves, or on cliffs overlooking valleys that they had never seen before. No one knew the fox's true intent. Was he playing tricks? Was he testing the hearts of those who entered the forest? Or was he guarding something, keeping wanderers away from a secret place? One tale tells of a weary woodsman who, on a stormy night, saw the lantern shining ahead. He was lost and near despair, but the fox's light glowed warmly in the rain. Though he knew the legends, he followed anyway. Hours passed and the storm grew fierce. At last the man collapsed by an ancient oak. And that's when the lantern winked out and the fox was gone. But when morning came, the woodsman found himself just beyond the edge of his village. The fox had led him alone home, after all. Another tale tells of a greedy merchant who saw the light and believed it to be a traveller carrying gold. He chased it, pushing through the thorns, swearing under his breath. The lantern bobbed and darted through the trees, just beyond reach. When dawn came, the merchant found himself in a bog, his fine boots ruined, his pack sunk into the mud. The fox had punished his greed with a night of folly. And so the stories grew, and some say the fox's lantern is a warning, teaching humility to those who walk the forest paths. Others believe, though, it is a gift, showing a way out to those who are pure of heart. Even now, wanderers speak of a pale light drifting between the trunks. Too low for a lantern, too steady for fireflies. And they say, if you ever see it, you must decide, will you follow, trusting the fox to guide you, or turn back, wary of his tricks? But remember this, whether he leads you astray or shows you the way, the fox is never cruel without reason. He is a trickster, yes, but also a guardian of the deep woods. And perhaps, if you listen closely when the mist is thick and the forest is hushed, you may hear the soft padding of his paws and the glow of his little ember flame dancing through the trees. And that is the fox's story, ladies and gentlemen. A short story for you, the first one. And we'll go into the blue jay in a few minutes, I think, too, and carry on. And because as the fox's lantern fades in the mist, the story will continue with, and there's another sound that stirs in the trees, sharp and bold. And it's a cry that carries through the golden canopy. And it's the call of a blue jay. And if you're familiar with the sound of blue jays, then you'll know exactly what they are. They're very loud and make a big noise, quite sharp. But excellent birds as well, beautiful birds to look at. And we have a lot of blue jays in coming into our bird feeding area at this time. So we have some really good videos of those coming up in the future, in the near future. And red cardinals and many other sort of colourful birds for North America. So they're worth catching a hold of them. So we're going to place a camera closer to them, along with our bird bath, if some of you may have seen some of those shots. So yeah, hi to everybody, Kissy Pixels. Hey, welcome back, good to see you again. And who have we got? Richard Rigo, hello, hello, and Karen as Rigo as well, excellent. Hello guys. So just saying hello to everybody. We've just gone through read our first story of the evening. And, if you're stopping by after the facts, I know different time zones around the world. We have friends in India, we have friends in Laos, we have friends in the United States, in Europe, and also, in Australia as well, actually now. So very nice to know. But obviously, not everybody can be with us at the same time while we go live. But it's nice to be here again in our mini studio for now, and looking at the live camera above me there, of the Folklore Forest camp, and where we record stories, but as we said before, we're going to be doing far more with that next year. So look out for that coming next summer, where we'll be looking at building something there special that'll really be fitting for a storybook style, area like that. String Shoe Camp is there. Okay, awesome. So let me know if you're where you're at, where you're coming from, in the text chat there, in the live chat. It'd be good to uh, see if we have some people from around the globe yet. If you're just joining us after the fact, after this video, then thank you for stopping by, and thank you again for taking the time. If you've subscribed, we're really, really happy that you do that. And if you are not a subscriber, we hope that you would join us and subscribe, and hit that like button, and we can show YouTube, nature in all of its nighttime glory right now. Um, so yeah, I mean, let's see. What do we want to do? Shall we do the next story now, or do we want to move on and just do some scenes of the woodland and relax? And
We've got turkey footage.
oh, we have turkey footage, the producer says. Excellent. Well, yeah, let's have a look at some of that turkey footage. Yeah, I feel sorry for the wild turkeys sometimes. They you can see them coming in. We had came into our lawn one afternoon while we were sitting on the porch there, so it caught us by surprise. And so we managed to capture some video of that. And I have noticed them out in the backwoods there. So it's kind of a dangerous place for them, especially with the foxes, as you know, being around. um, but hopefully they'll be good. They'll keep themselves safe. There is actually a little shack, an old chicken coop on the property here. So I was thinking, actually, I've left the door open to that. So maybe if they can find it, they can find refuge there. Yeah, I think we can see that in a minute, right? Yeah, excellent. Yeah, excellent. You hope you enjoy that. It's really crazy. Yeah, super loud chickens, or turkeys, I should say. Yeah. Just checking on the top camera there real quick while we're looking at those turkeys. And just want to move that camera a touch more. There we go. Yeah, so on the view, we're looking down the pathway um, towards the back lawn, or field as I call it now. Um, yeah, on the actual intro video that's playing in the background, all of the scenes here made by Digital Voodoo, by the way. I just wanted to get a plug-in for Digital Voodoo while I have a second, because all of the new scenes and the new videos that we'll be showing, intros and things that they've made for us, are all from our surroundings. There's pictures, video, and then I love how that just takes us into the picture, and then into the folklore forest. It's very clever. I like it. So I don't know if you where you live in the world, or you're familiar with blue jays. Um, particularly around here, there's a lot at this time of year, and they're also kind of victims as well to birds of prey, raptors and things. So I am actually starting to see a lot more raptors coming in, like hawks and falcons, looking for those poor guys. So trying to help that, keep them protected as much as you can. But so the blue jay really is very interesting with folklore and autumn. And there's again another kind of a trickster, in nature and in folklore that has been passed down for many generations. And usually, if we, well, I never really kind of seen that many blue jays before, until now. To see groups like 6 or 7 and how they behave and how they interact and call each other over and things. And they're also a bit like gangsters, because all the other birds, yeah, they sort of muscle in. In fact, the only thing that I've seen chase them off so far has been a chipmunk. It just runs at them and they fly off. But other than that, yeah, I wouldn't like to get pecked by the beak, it's kind of long. So our next story we'll go into, I think, would be about the blue jay in particular and the character of the blue jay maybe. So let's just have a look at this story, have a listen and sit back again, and I'll read this one to you and for you. So when the first leaves turn copper and gold, and the air sharpens with the breath of autumn, and we're almost there, the woods grow restless with change. Squirrels hurry to hide their acorns, and the deer tread quietly along fading trails, and overhead a raucous voice echoes through the trees, the call of the blue jay. For as long as the travellers could remember, or villagers could remember, a certain jay had ruled these woods. His feathers gleamed like a shard of the autumn sky, and his eyes glimmered with mischief. He had a habit of swooping down upon laundry lines or darting into open windows, stealing whatever glittered or shone. Buttons, beads, even the silver clasps of a woman's cloak, all vanished into the treetops. The people grumbled, but no one could ever catch him. "That bird is more spirit than flesh," the elders muttered, shaking their heads, and indeed, when he shrieked and darted between the branches, he seemed like a trickster from the old tales, as much a part of the forest as the wind itself. One crisp evening, when the sun was sinking and the maples glowed like fire, a child wandered at the forest's edge. Her name was Elin, and she carried a basket of chestnuts gathered from the clearing. And tucked among them was her dearest treasure, a small locket, dull with age, but precious to her heart, for it had once belonged to her mother. As she paused to rest upon a mossy log, a flash of blue swooped down from the treetops. In an instant, the locket was gone, snatched from the basket by a sharp beak and swifter wings. "Wait!" Elin cried, leaping to her feet. The jay perched high above, the trinket gleaming in his beak. He tilted his head, watching her with bright, mocking eyes. Then, with a harsh laugh, the jay darted deeper into the woods. Elin followed, her chest pounding as the light dimmed between the trees. The jay led her through twisting paths, always just ahead, the locket flashing in his grasp. At last, she found herself in a clearing she had never seen before. The forest floor was littered with bright scraps, ribbons, coins, buttons, all stolen from the village over the years. The jay landed on a branch above the horde and fixed her with a clever gaze before dropping the locket into the leaves below. When Elin went to reach for it, the bird swooped down and snatched it again, cawing loudly. It was clear that this was no ordinary thief. This jay was a trickster who enjoyed a bargain. So Elin paused for a moment to think, remembering what her grandmother had said. The creatures of the forest respect a fair trade, if you speak with honesty. With a pleasant smile, Elin reached into her basket and drew out a chestnut. Polished smooth, she held it up so it caught the last of the sun. "Great Jay," she said, locking eyes with the bird, "you may keep this treasure and more besides, if you return what is mine." The bird cocked his head, considering, before swooping down and plucking the chestnut from her hand and then dropping the locket into the girl's palm. His feathers brushed her cheek like a whisper of sky. Then, With a cry half scornful and half gleeful, the jay snatched 2 more chestnuts from the basket and vanished into the trees. From that day on, Elin left an offering of nuts and shiny pebbles at the forest's edge. In return, the jay no longer stole from her home. In fact, sometimes he left curious gifts, like a feather or a strange bead, and once even a tiny silver coin no villager could explain. And so the people came to see the jay not only as a thief, but as a keeper of secrets, a spirit of autumn who demanded respect and sometimes rewarded it. Yeah, I like that story. Yeah, it's a good story. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm just gonna make sure that our live camera's still up and working for the woods there. And let's see who we have in chat today. Oh, hello, producers in the chat. Oh, hey, that's rare. Hello. What's the name? Hi, good to see you again. And Kissy Pixels is with us. So that's a nice little gathering, guys. So I'm glad that you all could join us this evening. So far we have, if you missed earlier when we first began, so far we've read through one story, the first story of the foxes, or the fox, the Trickster fox, and that was a good story. We're hoping really to be able to see some live on our live camera, but that might still happen. It's around this time in the evening sometimes when we've seen them up there, and we've recorded them there. So okay, and so now we've just talked about the blue jay, and that was our last story, and the third story is about the deer, and that's a favourite of mine actually, which I'll probably just wait and before I read that. And it's basically a deer at the edge of autumn, so it's more of an autumn story, and it also, it's in keeping with the woods and the edge of the woods. And I keep coming across this a lot, with folklore, about the edge of the woods being these places. Perhaps it's a boundary line, perhaps it's a meeting place between the wild and the, humans. I'm not sure, but certainly Native American folklore talks in particular a lot about the deer at the edge of autumn. So the next story that we'll be reading really kind of, is a version of that. And
got a couple nice comments here, I must say.
Oh, excellent. That's our producer. Thank you, producer, I can't always really read what's going on. Excellent. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, guys. So glad you're here with us. Excellent. Thank you. Again, welcome to the studio. Here we are in the tiny, small folklore studio right now, and but it's cozy, and so we're able to come live to you tonight on Friday night. We're hoping now that we'll be probably doing more scheduled live shows for just under an hour. So hopefully wherever you are in the world, you get the chance to watch them if you can't be here with us live, and it won't take up too much time for you to look through us and maybe give us a like. That would be great for us to give us a thumbs up if you enjoy and you stay tuned and watch. And if you aren't already subscribed and you're just watching for the first time, please come and join us and subscribe, because there's going to be a lot more exciting things coming, and particularly with autumn and fall and the new cameras and everything that we're going to be having outside, and the 24-hour live stream, which is still coming soon. So thanks for stopping by. Let us know where you are in the chat and say hello, where in the world you're coming from. Before we go into our third and final story, which again, I like this story, so I don't want to stretch it out too much. But we did see deer the other day, and unfortunately I wasn't able to capture them on film, so I videoed them, but they come very close. So the new cameras, when we have them set up for the back, we'll be able to do that 24 hours a day as well. So we're going to be putting food out there for them, that'll just bring them to the edge of the property, but not too close for them. And we'll be able to capture them on really nice video then, so that'll be awesome. Right, so, yeah. Oh, the huge squirrel. Yeah, there is a big, huge squirrel. In fact, I think there's two, but one's two. Yeah, one's massive, big tail. Right. If I could, I'd set up one of those obstacle courses for it and then see if we could record it. Put some Mission Impossible music to it or something. Okay. So, what do you guys think? Next story, the story of the deer at the edge of autumn, or just quite happy just hanging out and looking at the camera right now. To be honest, in fact, I probably will be taking a short break soon and just away from the camera. So, if you are just joining us, then maybe we can just go to the full cam for the live camera while I step away. Thank you, producer. And I'll be right back in a few minutes, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hi guys, I'm back. Well, I'm not on camera, I'm just here with the voice for now. And thank you for joining us. Thanks for guys and stopping by. Just wanted to say a big shout out to Digital Voodoo for our graphics package that they provided for us recently. And some very interesting videos there. And we'll be using those for different topics, paranormal subjects when we cover paranormal and, folklore of different types and different legends and myths. And first two stories tonight really are about autumn. We thought that, because of these woodlands that we have here, we're going to see them change, very soon. And we're really kind of looking forward to what that's going to be like for us actually being up close and personal to that event, instead of just some people drive, in this country actually, if you're in the US, you will be familiar with leafers, the term leafers. And so people will drive from on vacation to go and look at the trees turn colour, and they are beautiful. I mean, it's certain places incredible. So be looking forward to that in our own folklore forest coming soon. So stick with us, like and subscribe, please, and come and join us. There'll be regular scheduled shows like this coming up and other events. So it'll be really nice to see you guys. And, maybe we can get some feedback as well, in times and day. Evenings for Fridays usually works for us quite well. And possibly even a Saturday evenings could be a possibility. But again, people are in different places around the world. And not everybody can be, all together live and a live stream like this at the same time. So yeah, always try and check in afterwards. If you're subscribed to us, please watch the video again if you get the time, when you get the time. Hope that you enjoy the stories. And you don't mind seeing me dressed in this attire right now, my reading attire. It's my lobby attire. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Okay, styling and chilling after a long day. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, it's been a long week for us. A few people, actually, quite a few. So glad you could be here. We're going to move on soon, and we'll move on to the next story, and which again, just to remind people, it is the deer, the deer at the edge of autumn. So pretty soon you'll see me come back to camera, and when I do, we'll begin that story for you guys. Good to see you all here again, by the way. Thank you. Okay. Well, I hope you've been enjoying those views. I think I'm seeing a flicker out at the back of the trees on the live camera right now soon, so you might be catching that. If there is a flicker of light that I'm thinking, then it could be our friends the foxes who are coming to the edge of the camp there. So hi, and welcome back. I'm back on your screens there for you for a little bit. So I'm just keeping one eye on the edge of the woods on the live camera above me, because there was an eye shine, just at the back. I just saw it just as we came to camera. So I'm about to begin the third story for the evening, and we are getting to that time of year. Nights are growing longer, and colder. The air turns sharp with promise of frost. Not quite there just yet here. I mean, maybe in other places, maybe in Europe, perhaps. I've heard that England's starting to feel a bit chilly now. But the deer begin to move differently through the forest, and so we've noticed this very close to our house actually. So excellent, really nice to see. And their steps do go quiet in the woods, like I'm saying. The sound of antlers are clashing echoes faintly through the hills. In tales from Native American lore, it is believed that deer are not only creatures of flesh, but also messengers who carry the spirit of the forest itself. And among them is one old tale told when the leaves begin to fall, the tale of the deer at the edge of autumn. Long ago, a young hunter set out into the woods. His family was poor, and the coming winter weighed heavily upon him. He carried only a bow and his determination, vowing that he would not return home until he brought back enough meat to feed everyone. The forest was quiet as the hunter walked the trails, carpeted in golden leaves. Absolutely hours passed, and he saw nothing. No rabbit, no squirrel, not even the flicker of a bird. And at last, when the sun dipped low, he caught sight of a stag emerging from the brush. Its coat shone like silver in the fading light, and its antlers were crowned with strands of autumn leaves, as if the forest itself had woven them there. The hunter raised his bow, slowing his breathing to take the shot. But when the stag turned its head, their eyes met, and in those large dark eyes he saw no fear, only calm. It felt as though the forest was watching him through the stag's gaze. The stag stepped forward then and stamped its hoof upon the earth. At that moment a sudden breeze stirred the leaves, and the air seemed to whisper something indecipherable. Slowly the stag turned and walked back into the trees, and without knowing why, the curious hunter followed. Deeper and deeper the stag led him, until he came to a hollow he had never seen before. There, beneath a great oak, lay a fallen branch, heavy with late-season fruit, apples sweet and red, though no apple tree had ever grown in that place before. Once the stag stopped, his gaze fixed on the hunter, and, with a flick of its tail, the stag vanished into the twilight. What had just happened? Did the deer purposely lead the worried hunter here? Not thinking about it for a moment longer, the hunter gathered as many apples as he could carry and immediately took them home. And that night he shared the apples with his family, and the fruit filled them with warmth and strength, enough to carry them until the first snows passed. They had no meat, but they had life, and that was enough. After that day, the hunter never raised his bow against a deer. He became a gatherer and a caretaker of the woods, known for sharing what he had found with others in the village. And each autumn, when the nights grew long, he would return to that clearing, leaving an offering of grain or berries beneath the oak, in thanks to the stag that had spared him from hunger and from sorrow. The elders say that even now, when the forest grows still and the leaves drift like fire through the air, a silver stag may appear at the edge of its clearing. Its antlers glimmer with strands of leaves, and its eyes shine with the wisdom of the deep woods. If you should see it, do not lift your bow or chase it down. Instead, bow your head and listen, for the deer at the edge of autumn is not a creature to be hunted, but a spirit to be honored, a guardian of balance, carrying the quiet heart of the season in its step. And so, the tales of the autumn woods come to a gentle close tonight. The fox fades into the fog, his ember light flickering among the trees. The jay's raucous call echoes over the golden canopy, reminding us that even mischief has its place. And the stag, crowned with autumn leaves, moves quietly into the dusk, carrying the wisdom of the forest in his stride. Wow, wow. Thank you, thank you. That was a nice story. Hope you guys enjoyed that. So those 3 stories, and the deer story again, I like that very much. Certainly, I'd like to see that with some animation at some point, perhaps. Maybe rework a couple and do an episode that's based around that. The producer's nodding. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that was excellent. That's welcome to our first live stream where we're actually just storytelling and reading, and just showing the live webcam from the woods there and the campsite. I did think earlier, before we started reading that story, I thought perhaps we had, maybe seen some fox, but so far no, they're being very shy. They're being mischievous, right? But yeah, so glad that you guys joined us this evening for this live stream. And if you are just joining us for the first time, welcome, welcome. Where we've just read through 3 stories, and we're looking forward to further stories that we're going to either write or we'll do, traditional folklore stories that come from all over the world again. Right now we're in Maine, so we're coming at you from Maine, as in the United States, and the woods here. Yeah, we really enjoy being able to bring the woods to you, and storytelling and folklore and nature, which is, big thing these days as well for some people. Many people perhaps don't get out into the woods, or don't get the option to get into woods very often. Having the ability to be able to just sit down, relax, and with your favorite beverage on a Friday night or Friday evening, or maybe it's Saturday wherever you are right now as well. The time zones are huge around the world, as we know. But again, thank you all from the Folklore Forest, from me, the narrator Dave, and from our producer Pam, who's with us over there off the camera right now. And again, I hope that you'll go over some of the videos, maybe check those out if there are a few that you haven't seen. I know there are a lot of shorts right now, but I do make quite a few shorts, I admit that. So I hope that some of you guys really do enjoy those shorts. Some are funny, Yeah, we could put the Fox video up. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, the producer's just saying maybe we could run the Fox video, and we'll let that play for a bit. Totally forgot about that. Thank you. Yeah. That'll be coming up in a very short period, so probably put that on the full screen. Yeah, excellent. See how we go with that. Thank you. What's her name? Yeah, thank you for that. Excellent. Yeah. Yes, Druidian. Hi, good to see you, fella. Okay, there we go. There's our Fox video I'm seeing. Now, these guys have been coming in gradually over a few days, so and they're just picking over scraps right now that we left for them. So we've made a few shots with that too. I think they're really cute. But at first, when we first saw them, we didn't realize, that it was a fox, because we didn't get, couldn't capture very good video. On this one now, we managed to capture it, but I think we need a zoom camera on that too, guys. What do you think? That's the next. Have a good zoom up on that fox there. And he has a buddy too. So, some I'm not sure if it's this one where you see the both of them at once. Maybe it is, possibly. So how are you guys doing out there? How are you doing? Are you enjoying the show so far? If you're with us, and if you're watching after, please leave a comment in the chat afterwards and say hi. Let us know what you think to the show. And oh, there he goes again. Whoa. Yeah, just kind of sneaking off there. But usually the camera will follow, and now it does actually. Now it does follow. Yeah, excellent. Okay, so yeah, that was a great screen capture of that, and I hope that you enjoyed that short video there with the foxes. Really kind of hoping that they might show up live as well, but at least we do have video to show if they don't. And we can always move the camera around, and just for a little fun, change the scenery a little bit. But again, thank you guys. Thanks to Druidian, admin there, for joining us, and thanks to what's her name, Stylingson. Thank you for that. I'm glad you enjoyed the stories. And let's see. Who else? Oh, there's lots of them. Very good. Who else have we got here with us? Well, we haven't heard from Richard for a while, but maybe he's not there. So maybe they left a bit. Glad you all guys could stop by. And we'll be wrapping up the show in a little while. We've still got a little bit to go, but we will be sort of just showing a little more of that video. Again, just want to say thank you to Digital Voodoo for our excellent animation and intro trailers, and hope that you guys really like watching those. And if you haven't seen them, check them out. The animations are great. And yeah, I'm just seeing a question from Richards. What time of night? I'm not sure.
What time of night do they usually show up
Oh,
in the woods?
usually around 8 p.m. or after that. And so that, we were hoping to capture that before, but yeah, next time we definitely will be at some point. With the 24-hour camera, then we'll definitely be capturing a lot more, obviously. So, that will be available for everybody then. But yeah, so I want to say thank you very much to everybody who stopped by. Thank you to all for watching after the fact. If you weren't able to be with us live, that was, please come and join us when you can. And if you are watching and you're not a subscriber, please hit that like and subscribe button. Soon we'll be getting close to that 1,000 subscribers, and we're really looking forward to having that figure on the channel. It'd be very, very nice. So if you enjoy our videos and you like them, please hit that like button, and more people will get a chance to view the videos. But for now, we're going to say good night, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the stories. If you do have any stories of your own you'd like to contribute, by the way, you can email us at worldwidefolkloretales at gmail.com. And there is a Discord server. Some people like Discord, not many people YouTube. I like it. It's easy if you like to follow after a show. People can talk and chat and just hang out. And so if you like that thing, that's a fun place to do it. So Discord server link there for you at the moment. And we hope that somebody soon, some of you guys will come and join us. But with that, I'm going to say good night. Thank you again. Bye, everyone. See you next time.